Keep your radio dial right here. You're locked into the hottest news station on the planet. Hot 702.5 in FM sound. Blazing today's hip-hop, R&B, and pop music. Keeping your radio on fire. Bringing you the hottest, realest, riskiest talk shows live 24/7 on hot7025fm.com.
Hi. Hey. What's up?
All your favorite artists.
Check it out.
Say my name.
DJ Khaled.
This is Mila J.
Bruno Mars.
On hot7025fm.com.
E-Class Consulting. It's owned and operated by E-Carice, providing tools, training, and resources that are sure to make you and your business even more successful. We are staffed with a marketing, credit, tax, and a real estate consultant. E-Class Consulting also provides a temporary admin service called E-Class Admins. Want to book an appointment with E-Class Consulting? Call 702-518-3002 or email book@eclassconsulting.com. E-Class Consulting, navigating you to greatness.
Yo, it's Tavon Greatness Patterson. Want to listen to Hot 702.5 on the go? Download the Hot 702.5 app on the Apple Store or Google Play Store if you got an Android like me.
Let's get it.
Keep your radio dial right here. You're locked into the hottest news station on the planet. Hot 702.5 in FM sound. Blazing today's hip-hop, R&B, and pop music. Keeping your radio on fire. Bringing you the hottest, realest, riskiest talk shows live 24/7 on hot7025fm.com.
It's your main man, 360 the Poet from the Morning Wood. And are you looking for the perfect drink? Well, you found it. Mimosa Royale is the perfect combination of California sparkling white wine and natural juice that is both tasty and refreshing. No artificial colors or flavors, no sugar added, and it's gluten-free. As the world's first ready-to-drink mimosa, Mimosa Royale is perfect for any occasion, day or night. You no longer have to drink 12 of those seltzers just to get that perfect buzz. At 8% alcohol, Mimosa Royale is the perfect drink to party with. Offered in a variety of flavors and sizes, you are bound to find a Mimosa Royale that you'll love. We have berry, mango, apple, and orange, with more flavors to come. Mimosa Royale is the most award-winning flavored wine that serves in bottles or cans. You can find them online at drinkmimosa.com or find them at your local liquor store. Ask for it by name. Mimosa Royale.
Hi. Hey. What's up?
All your favorite artists.
Check it out.
Say my name.
DJ Khaled.
This is Mila J.
Bruno Mars.
On hot7025fm.com.
What's going on, everybody? It's your main man, 360 the Poet from the Morning Wood, and I'm here to talk to you about the Sci-Fi Center. It's your Vegas home for science fiction, horror, and fantasy. From comic books, toys, and posters to movie screenings and live events, they've got you covered. Located at 900 Cameron Avenue, Suite B209, give them a call, 702-900-4335, or reach them at thescificenter.com.
That's how we do it. This is how we do it. Y'all remember that one thing that it was a meme going around? It was a dude named Howie DeWitt. and they were talking about this is how we do it. And it had me dying, man. Had me on the floor. They're talking about this is how we do it type thing. So what's up, y'all? Where y'all at? And what y'all doing? And what y'all doing? Where y'all at? You know where you at. You at the number one space for what we do here. We give advice. We talk to people. We let them know. We break it down and give them the real deal Holyfield out here in these streets. It's called Holla at the Homie. HOLLAATTHAHOMIE. Holla at the Homie. I'm your homie 360, the poet. That's THAPOET. Make sure you spell it right because it means something. If it means something to me, it don't have to mean nothing to y'all, but it do mean something to me. So we gonna make sure that y'all holla at the homie. That's THAPOET. That's right, baby. What y'all doing out there, man? It's another good week. It's hump day. So we back in this thing like a wedgie, y'all. So you let me know. I got my engineers working around the clock with me in this thing, y'all. They don't never stop. 1, 2, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, rock. Gotta give me a pen up out here because I gotta cross off my notes and stuff like that. Y'all know how we do it. We don't really freestyle that much. I make sure I do some research and get y'all something to say and something to talk about and pull out a few bullet points after I dissect what it is that y'all bring to me. Had to go out shot one time to be able to grab this here agua mineral. It's always good to have some agua around you when you're going to be talking and doing things like that. But what's happening, y'all? We at the number one spot for where we get it in, called Holla at the Homie. I always like to give my disclaimer. I let people know, like, I've never been trained in any type of psychology, psychiatry, or anything along those lines, never counseling or anything like that. But what I have done is lived a very colorful life. And in that colorful life, I've sponged up some game. And what I do out here is I squeeze it back out to y'all over the airwaves each and every Wednesday. So that's how we do it. That's how it gets done. And it goes a little something like this. So I always like to be able to check in with my folks from time to time. I like to see when people come in and when they see me, they holla at me. They be seeing, I seen people in the streets recently and they told me holla at the homie. That one made me feel good when I saw somebody in the streets tell me that they was hollering at the homie. So that's what we doing it right here all day, every day. Not all day, every day, but each and every Wednesday right here from 3 o'clock to 4 o'clock my time. That's 5 to 6 in the Midwest and 6 to 7, both on those drives home on the East Coast. So what's happening, y'all? We in this thing like a wedgie, like we like to say at all times. And I'm going to break down into this letter like we always do because that's how we do it. And if y'all ever have a situation or a circumstance because y'all felt as if you don't have nobody to talk to about it, then you can always send in a message to Holla at the Homie. You know what I mean? The homie always got something to say to you. The homie always got somewhere to talk. The homie can get you what you need over here in these streets. I can make sure that you got everything that you need, your little heart desires out here when you hollering at the homie. So we're going to break it down into this letter and going to get into it a little something like this. It says, Dear Holla at the Homie, I'm stuck in a situation that's got my head and my heart at war. My best friend, let's call him M, has been dating my sister for about a year. When things first started between them, I actually warned my sister to tread lightly. I told her that M had a bit of a reputation for not taking relationships seriously. Now, she brushed it off and said that he's changed, and she decided to give him a chance, and I decided to give them both the benefit of the doubt. Fast forward to last weekend, and I found out, without a doubt, that M is cheating on her. It wasn't rumors or hearsay. I saw it, and now I can't unsee it. I feel torn in two ways. My sister doesn't deserve this, and I feel like it's my duty to protect her heart. But M has been like a brother to me for years, and the thought of betraying his confidence by ratting him out feels almost as painful. I'm angry at him, but I'm also scared of blowing up both my friendship and my family dynamics. Part of me wants to confront M privately and give him the chance to come clean. Another part of me feels like telling my sister directly is doing the right thing, especially since I warned her once before and she trusted him anyway. I'm lost here. Do I stay loyal to blood and tell her straight up? Or do I press M to do the right thing first? Or do I just completely stay out of it and hope it comes to light on its own? How do I handle this without destroying everyone involved? Signed, Caught Between a Bro Code and Blood. Whoa, what's going on, Ty Bug 09? Caught between Bro Code and Blood. Wow. Wowzers. That's saying something right there. You really caught between the two? You really caught between the two, bro code and blood? I don't think so, but you can say that if you like. I'm just saying, again, I'm always gonna give you both sides of the spectrum. I'm gonna give you the good and the ugly. I'm gonna give you the angel's advocate and the devil's advocate. Be both of them. I've talked with both. Napoleon Hill told me it's cool to have to find why moving in your life. So I bring both perspectives to the table. I've actually dove in and found out a little bit about what both sides would say to this. So welcome back to another Holla, homie. First, let me say we keep it real. I mean, we hack life in a way that most people don't. What's going on, Dakari Kofi? I see you sign in back there. I wish I had a screen over here, but we ain't to that point yet. But I got y'all. If I put the microphone, see my words coming across that screen. What's up with you, McFadden Amber? Good to have you on here as always, home girl. But yeah, so this is a place where we unpack the little messes, we unpack the big messes, we unpack it all in any way, shape, form, or fashion that we can. You know what I mean? We try to give y'all to it raw and uncut in any way possible, because I try not to be objective, and I try not to be judgmental. I'm a gavel. I've never been to law school, so I can't say that I'll be judgmental. I'm not classified. It's not in my spectrum, right? So what I'm trying to say here is today's letter is a heavy one. And I'm not going to lie to you. It's a heavy one. Caught between bro code and blood is over here. That's one of our listeners. And he's got a situation going on and he needs our help. So I always like to depend on not only myself, but also my online colleagues, what I like to call everybody out there in the world that tunes in and gives their 2 cents, that, feel free to do so as such, because I'm going to take it like this, It's caught between like brotherhood and loyalty to his sister, also between best friend and loyalty to his buddy, right? He warned his sister about this friend before. He flat out told her, like, look, tread lightly, because his reputation ain't the cleanest as far as like taking relationships serious. And that's what he said. That's what he said, Frank. That's what you said. He said that he really wasn't the go together type, right? So in that, we had to say to him, like, what's up? His sister was like, nah, he's changed. He did a whole lot more. Is he doing things a little bit different? What's up, Ray Butler? 2-4 in the building. We doing things a little bit differently. And like I said, he warned his sister about this dude. So now he's torn. He's holding this bombshell and wondering which bridge he's about to burn. The one with his sister or the one with his best friend? Would you say, shut the front door, bro code? If you date my sister, you better marry her. Definitely not cheat on her. Hey, that's what I'm saying, Dakari. Dakari, I'm here with you, because I'm a brother of all older sisters, and I'm the baby. So I'm like that little dog that used to bark, that used to be chasing behind the big dog all the time, like, rrr, 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 rrr. That's me and my sisters, right? I'm that little vicious little and I'm gonna bite your ankles off. You know what I mean? That's me, right? So I feel you on that one, Dakari. But this dude right here, he's sitting there saying, like, which bridge am I about to burn? Because, because sometimes when you tell family or you tell people about how people operate and how they move, and then you come back and say, like, this is what happened, they think that you were waiting for it to happen. A lot of times, be like, I know you want to say I told you so, but this ain't really an I told you so moment, even though you told her so, my man. So, caught between bro code and blood, I know you told her so, but my first point of advice would be, after you do break this down to your sister, because that's inevitable, we'll get into the different ways you can do that, but make sure that you don't use this as a I told you this mofo wasn't no good moment. Just go at her like, I'm just here to inform you, don't shoot the messenger, just receive the message any way you can, right? But you don't use this as a I told you so moment, because whenever, you know what I say about pointing the finger, right? Whenever you point a finger, 3 fingers point right back at you. That means me, myself, and I. How did I have something? How did me have something to do with this? How did myself have something to do with this? And how did I have something to do with this? That's what the 3 fingers pointing back at you mean. So don't go out here just wagging that little finger. That's going to be the first thing I say. So let's take a beat, because this isn't just drama. This is about trust. This is about family. This is about overall integrity. You know, people always like integrity. That's an overused word without people really knowing and understanding what the meaning is and what's going on behind it. Integrity is doing the right thing even when you don't think anybody's watching. Even when nobody's watching you. It's doing the right thing in those moments, right? So even if you don't think that somebody else is watching, because think about it. If you saw your homie cheating, that means somebody else saw your homie cheating, and they saw your homie cheating. So now your integrity is in question if you don't go tell your sister. Because your sister is your first loyalty. Full stop. Exclamation point, period, whatever you want to put at the end of that. Your sister is your first loyalty. So if you're talking loyalty, I'm always going to be family first. I'm always going to be family first because you know what I believe. Family ain't about who you related to. It's about who shows loyalty back into you and who you show loyalty to. So now don't call your sister your family if you can't show loyalty to her. You understand what I'm saying? Family is who shows loyalty. Family is who you loyal to. That's who your family members are. So now you thinking, are you more family with your homeboy, as your best friend, than you are with your sister? That's a question. You know, you need to ask yourself. But at the end of the day, your family gets your first loyalty. So to me, in this situation scenario, I believe it's your sister. Your sister should receive your first loyalty. That's IMO, in my opinion. Again, I never tell people what to do. I just give you options of what can be done, right? So in my opinion, IMO, I believe your sister is your first loyalty because family doesn't always get a free pass. We know this. But when it comes to protecting someone that you care for and trying to keep them from harm, then your obligation is to her. Because a brother has a similar definition of father and as husband. You got it. The only thing is you don't have to provide. But as a brother, your job, number one, is to protect your family. Father and husband, that's when you add provide. But brother, you have to make sure that you protect your family. Younger brother, older brother, anywhere in between. You are a protector of your family. So if that's the way you taking this definition on, then your first loyalty is to your sister. You know, that doesn't mean you go charging in, guns blazing, saying like, let me tell you, I told you about this mofo. You know, that ain't the way you go about it. You know, ready to tell somebody like, you know, blowing up everything without having a plan. It's still chess. It's still not a checkers game. It's still chess. That's what they call checkers a game. They call chess a match. Think about that. Words have power, right? So if you got to go in there playing this like chess, you know, because you don't want to go in there guns blazing without a plan, but it does mean that you don't have to live with a lie just to protect your homeboy. Just to protect his bad choices. You don't have to live with a lie just to protect your friend's bad choices. So now what do you mean by that, 360? Like, yeah, you know, that's your homeboy, that's your partner, that's all of that, right? What'd you say, Dakari Kofi? That screen blurry over there. Say, oh man, I can't see none of that. That's all right. I'm gonna come back to it. You know how it is, man, in technology. I think it says something along the lines like, there it is. Solution, tell her dump him fast. There we go. Thank you. See what I'm saying? I think it's my old eyes. That's part of what it is. You know, my screen's a little further away in these new digs and stuff like that. So I got to be able to get to my old eye situation. My glasses is clean. Ain't no smudges on them. I think they clean. I believe they clean. My wife always talking about how do you see out of those things, but I can see, damn it. But you know, so like first and foremost, like Dakari said, dump him fast. That would be my thing as well, but in a more strategic way. What I mean by that is, you know, how I would handle this situation to prevent myself from trying to protect my friend's bad choices is I'd have a private and direct conversation with him. I'd sit him down. I'm talking about, and no texting, that's coward. No casual, oh, by the way, while y'all at the bar, that's kind of weak. You know, tell him what you saw. Tell him how it made you feel. And also tell him what's at stake. Because I'd have a little more Like I said, I'm a little more pit bull than some people may be, right? So I'd have a little more because what's at stake is his ass because he's disrespecting my sister. That's what's at stake. But that should have been established from the beginning. You should let him know that from the jump. Like, look, man, this is my sister. I know how you get down. If you ain't gonna be right, don't do it. Cause I'm gonna fade you in some way. Let him know. But you never said that whether your sister was out there macking and had some side pieces. You didn't mention that. So I'm thinking that she's being loyal to this man. So if she being loyal to him and he's being disloyal to her, then you got to let him know what's at stake. Not only is it his relationship, y'all friendship is at stake because you had this conversation with both of them prior to even them getting together. Because if you warned her about him, I'm sure you warned him about you. I would hope you did. Because that's one thing that don't slide. It don't ride. Not with me. Not with this pit. I'm a lock jaw on you. I'm a lock jaw on you. What's going on, Aunt Gwen? Good to have you in the building. So that's a real situation and circumstance. You have to ask yourself, tell him, let him know what's at stake. Let him know you can't and you won't cover for him. Like this, I'm pretty sure I can cover for you in the past with the rest of your chicks, but this one different. It's different. Yeah, it's different. This my sister. You see what I'm saying? You gonna come up with some teeth missing. It's different. Also let him know that you not only the fact that you won't cover for him, but you gotta, give him the chance to take the responsibility. Because honestly, sometimes people double down. What's going on, Miss Mahogany? Sometimes people double down on their wrongdoings when they don't know. You know what I mean? When it is that they think they caught up. If somebody's painted into a corner, sometimes they're going to double down on what it is. Would you say, McFadden Amber, if he was a real friend, he wouldn't have played your sister. More respect would be involved. That part right there, Am. That part. If he was a real one, he wouldn't have played on your sister. He'd have been like, yo, man, like your sister feeling me and stuff like that. He would have came to you like, yo, I want to talk to her, but you know me, man. You know me. So I need you to, be able to keep her up off me. If he was a real one. That's a great point, McFadden Amber. That's a great point. Because if he was a real one, he wouldn't have done this to your sister. If he was a real friend to you. But again, if you a real brother, you're not going to let it slide. So if you press him to make the decision, let him know and inform him what's at stake, if he don't, by talking to him first, you giving him a shot to do the right thing. You want everybody to have a chance to do the right thing. They got to do the right thing. You give them a chance. Give them a chance. Yeah, players mess up. Players mess up. And if your sister really digging him, and if he really acting like he dig your sister, because I'm going to just say acting, because if he really digging her, then he wouldn't be out there doing what he doing. But you say cheating. And my definition of cheating is anything you wouldn't want your significant other doing on their side. So he might not have smashed nothing. He might have been out on a date with somebody. He might have been making out, kissing somebody or something like that. So I don't really know the depth of his cheat. But again, cheating is defined as anything that you don't want your significant other doing. So now if he okay with her going and doing whatever it is he did, then by having this conversation with him, you might get to the bottom of that. They may have an understanding. Ain't nothing better in the world than a good understanding. Your sister, your sister would have been a little bit more upfront with you. Would you say, McFadden Amber? You say none of your brother's friends would okay. You said none of your brother's friends would ever do nothing like that. And I get that. I get all of that. And a lot of times people won't, would you say none of my brother's friends messed up because they knew that he would be the end? Oh yeah, on some BS. And that's the thing. If he knew what type of real one you were, he wouldn't even tried it. He wouldn't even try to pull it. What's up to all my people over here on TikTok? And like you say, none of your brother's friends would have messed with you in the first place because they knew how he would have got down. And if you was a real pit bull, then he wouldn't have pulled no slick stuff like this. So I'm going to need you to grab your sacks, man. I'm going to need you to grab your sacks because you wrote to me. So you got something to say. Say it with your chest out. shoulders back, chin parallel to the ground, be like, hey, bruh, it ain't cool. I need you to tell my sister what you got going on, or y'all, you know what I mean? Or you going to have to deal with me. Or we just don't deal with each other no more at all. And I'm going to make sure that my sister know. So if you don't tell her, just know that I am. You got to let him know what the deal is. This your sister. It's not a friend. It's not a compadre. It's not somebody that you work with. That's your sister. Think about that, man. I asked the question before I came on. I said, what if you found out that your friend was cheating on your sibling? Would you be family first, or would you stick to the code? The only code is family first. That was a trick question. It was an open-ended question. So this is your sister. But then again, by having this conversation, if they have something established and understood already, then you'll get an understanding of that yourself. So you won't be as angry, barky. Just like similar to last week when I was telling, you know what I mean? Like when the family members found out that the girl that was faking like she was the girlfriend of the dude, they was all mad at her. And she told him, go talk to your cousin, dog. It ain't what you think. It ain't what you think. Go talk to your cousin. Would you say a great poet answer? I'm going to give the answer the way it's supposed to be. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to give a PC answer. I'm going to give the real answer, because you're trying to cover for your friend's bad choices if you don't tell your sister. And if that's if that's the case, he's probably looking at you sideways. He looking at you like, hey, man, you ain't tell your sister nothing? What kind of brother are you? So then you really backed into a corner. So yes, my thing is talk to him, pull him to the side. Like I say, don't text him. Don't be like, oh, by the way, man, I really ain't care for you, being out on a date or making out with or smashing or whatever it is happened. Ain't no by the way. It's, yo, bruh, let me holler at you. This ain't cool. And I need you to tell my sister, be 100 with her. If not, we got a problem. Not saying you're going to whoop somebody's tail. Like, you know what I'm saying? Saying you ain't got to be the baddest dude in the room, but let it be known that you not standing for it. So that means that's going to put a disruption in y'all friendship. It ain't always about laying hands on somebody, but sometimes it is. I'm not here to say yay or nay. I'm just saying, like, sometimes, the hands get to talking and, it's just the conversation goes differently. But my thing would be, if I'm going to be on both shoulders, is first things first, you got to holler at your homie. Holler at your friend and let him know, like, yo, man, this ain't cool, homeboy. You need to go let my sister in on what your get down is. That would be my first piece of advice for you. Again, I'm not telling you what to do. Just telling you what can't be done. Because I think he will respect you more for stepping up for your sister. I think your sister will respect you more for when she does find out that you stood up for her. And I think you would respect yourself more because you actually said something to somebody to protect your family. Again, options, not instructions. Options, not instructions. Oh, what's going on? I appreciate you there, Dude Goose, putting that gift in the gift gallery for me. Y'all keep them coming. I appreciate all them gifts. Good looking. So like step 2. Now, if he doesn't come clean, then what? Right? At least first things first, you told him, yo, bro, come clean. Either you come clean or I'm a clean the situation up. So if he doesn't come clean, you owe your sister the truth. Because don't be sending out no bluffs. You can't be bluffing in life. What's up, Professor BB? You can't be bluffing in life. You got to be able to say like, yo, I'm calling this is what it is. I'm gonna make sure that my sister know what's happening. Y'all make sure y'all share it out there too. Anybody that's watching, let your sister know, like, yo, deliver it gently. Like I said, this is not a I told you so moment. Deliver it gently, but with facts. Don't beat around the bush. Don't be like, so I'm thinking that your old man ain't being as written. Nah, tell her straight up, look, sister, I hate to tell you this, but this is what it is. I'm going to be gentle as possible with it. I'm be suave. Come on, be suavemente with her. Be suave with her. Be gentle with your sister, because it's not about, because she's already going to be hurting finding out the information. So it would make it worse if you compile on that I told you so mentality with it. You know, don't make it about revenge or I told you so. Remember, you know, hearing this first and foremost is going to hurt her. And she might even be mad at you for being the messenger. You know, she might even be upset with you for being the messenger. And that's okay. Her anger with you will pass, because the first thing she gonna feel like is, you know what? My brother protected me by letting me know what's what. And when you tell her, let her know that you gave him the opportunity to come clean. Don't be like you just telling her just to give her the tea, give her the juice, or give her the information. No, I'd be like, look, I gave him opportunity to come tell you. He chose not to, so I'm gonna be here to tell you. So that way she knows that you at least chess moved it. She knows at least that you took some consideration on handling this with her feelings in mind. Because people hate to hear that they've been cheated on, but I'm pretty sure most would like to hear it from the source who cheated, opposed to somebody on the outside that caught them. You know, I believe that's how I would want to hear it. If somebody messed around on me, I would want to hear from the mess arounder, not from an outsider. Because then I'm a question, are you sure? Like, you know, because if the person that tell me that they did it, then there's no question about whether or not they did it. They did it. Whatever he said he did, he did. That's like they said about ghosts, you know? So I would prefer to be told by the person who did the infidelity. I would do that, you know, because in that situation, what you get is a come to Jesus moment or a clarity moment. You know, again, her anger will pass, but she'll know that you protected her. You know what I mean? That fact will stick around. That part is always going to be there. She always going to look back in the back of her mind. And in the event she may come to you later on about another person she's thinking about dating, probably not one of your friends, but she'll trust you enough to be able to say, hey, bro, what you think? I need you to do a background on this dude, whether it's literal or figurative. You know, go out with him, go shoot some pool with him. You know, go shoot, you know what I mean? Spend some time with him. Let me know what you think about this dude. And then maybe you'll be able to say like, okay, my sister believes in my advice, whether you're the younger brother or whether you're the older brother. Your sister believes. What's going on, Women Helping? Thank y'all. Appreciate y'all joining. Share. Your sister will know that you got her back like a Tupac tag. You know, and that has weight to it. It's not just something. What up, Connie Mitchell? What's going on with you? That's Sister Connie. She got a show on our airwaves as well. Another one of our Hot 7025 FM personalities. And speaking of one of our personalities, y'all make sure y'all send up y'all prayers for the homegirl J9. J9 just went through a little bit of surgery and getting her arms together, getting her arm and everything together. So y'all big up to the people. Big up to all the people from hot7025fm.com, the hottest station in the land. We do support one another in any way that we can. So I appreciate that. Good looking out over there, Miss Connie. It's called intimacy. What you say? I ain't saying shit. I'm gonna bring you to the scene. Oh, I'm with you. Bring me in. Let me know. Let me know when you want me to come in. I got time for that. I definitely got time for that. Talk intimacy with Miss Connie. You know what I mean? So she got some subjects for that ass. So I'd love to be on your show because he gets down. You know, but that's what all of us do. So you know when you're talking to your sister, Mr. What you call your name? Caught between bro code and blood. When you talk to your sister, make sure you do with those gloves on, those little white gloves that people used to dust, you know what I mean, dust with to make sure there's nothing down there, because you want her to be as unscathed and unscarred as possible. Because any brother would never want, any real brother would never want anything harmful to come to your sister. What's up, For Analyze? What's up, Madre? Good to have you on here, baby. You know, no real brother will want anything harmful to come to his sister. I know I wouldn't. Again, like I said, I'm a pit bull. And For Analyze, I tell you, what's up, Lulu Tally? One of the homegirls for over 20 plus years in the building. You know, So any real brother wouldn't want anything bad to come to his sister. So your sister will have that in the bank for you. Like, I know my brother got me. And that's a wonderful feeling to have, to know that you are protected by the ones who love you. And I think that'll make your sister go harder for you in situations. You know, sometimes as siblings, we sit back, whether we're younger or older, and we let our siblings do what they do and live their life accordingly. But in moments like these are step up to the plate moments. These are moments where you have an opportunity to say, yo, like, I don't really think things that are going this way should be going this way towards you. And I'm always family first. So again, to you, Mr. Caught Between Bro Code and Blood, you asked the question, should you tell your sister or should you stick to the bro code? I think that you should tell your sister. If your bro code fails you. What I mean by that is, let's rewind. What I told you that it would be best to talk to him first. Tell him, hey, I need you to come clean with my sister. Because if you don't, then I'm going, I'm gonna make the situation right. I'm gonna rectify the situation. Whatever that means, stand on that. As a brother, you got to stand on that. Because let's keep it real. There is no version of this. What's up, lady or something? Make sure y'all sharing. There is no version of this that is painless for anybody. There is no, especially for your sister, there is no way that she can know about this that is not going to hurt her in some capacity. I just think the hurt would be less if it came from the man who did her wrong. And I think that she would respect you more by going to him first, because that means you step to your friend. You're not just snitching on him so she can do the dirty work. If you tell her, like, I gave him an opportunity to come clean. I gave him all the opportunity in the world to come clean, but he chose not to. So now here I am being Mr. Clean, helping you understand, wiping your glasses clear so you ain't be caught, so you're not caught looking in a different direction. So that's a real way to feel. So, in the event that you don't know what to say to her, just think about being a brother. Again, don't go to her with like, I know I told you about him before. Start off with like, I hate to be the one to tell you this. I truly do. Because that's when you can roll into, I gave him opportunity to be the one to be honest and upfront with you, but he chose not to. That's when you go into all of those things, right? But start off with like, I really and truly hate to be the one to have to give you this information, sister. I call my sister Sissy. So Sissy, I hate to be the one to tell you this. But A, B, C. And I think that she would appreciate you a whole lot more for stepping up to the plate in her honor. Like I said, there is no way to avoid pain. There is no way to avoid an explosion entirely. Something going to blow up. This situation is going to blow up. Something is going to happen. What's going on, honey? What's going on, Nina Mosley? Something is going to happen. What you can control is your integrity. There go that word again. Remember we talked about it earlier? What's up, Charlie Hall? We talked about it earlier. What's up, JR? We talked about integrity. That's doing the right thing. What's up, Linda? When nobody is watching, or even when you think nobody is watching. That's what integrity is. Doing the right thing when nobody is watching, because it's the thing to be done. So how do you feel about yourself when you look in the mirror knowing your sister doesn't know any of this information? Knowing that you haven't stepped to your homeboy and told him and let him know, like, look, you need to let my sister in on this. If not, I am. And depending on how she take it, it's going to be depending on where I take it. You got to say that with your shoulders back, chin parallel to the ground, homeboy. Again, first and foremost, I appreciate you writing into me to try to get an idea of how to handle this. Just know, family over everything, over anybody. You did? So be real with your friend. Let your homeboy know, like, look, dog, this ish ain't gonna ride. I don't like the way you now. A thought just popped into my head. Don't go over there and get menace to society. Don't talk to him and get menace to society. I don't like the way you treating Arlena, partner. And she don't like the way you treating her, and neither do I, partner. And you get stomped out. Don't do that. Don't do that. Hey, because like I said, if your homeboy knew what type of real you was, he wouldn't have never pulled this stunt. So don't go over there trying to be a Rottweiler and you a toothless Chihuahua. Don't go over there and get ragdolled because you trying to, hey, man, I don't like the way you treat my sister. Would you say, yeah, you don't let people make a liar out of you. You're right about that, Professor BB. You know, they're going to make you feel like a liar if you don't tell your sister about this and she find out through another party. Because like I said, your integrity been on the line. Because if you saw your homeboy, then other people saw your homeboy. And other people that know that he dating your sister saw your homeboy. Saw you see your homeboy. So they're going to be like, yo, you said something to your sister? Did your sister know yet? Did your sister know yet? And if she don't, then everybody looking at you sideways. You can't never. Would you say omission is lying too? That's the truth. What's going on, Queen Shay? Make sure y'all out there, those that's joining, make sure y'all sharing. You know, omission is lying as well. So if you leave out the details, if you leave out the truth, then that's lying. That's lying to your sister. And I think it's lying to your homeboy, letting them think that it's okay. Because deep down inside, you know it's not. That's why you wrote me a letter. You wrote me because you know it's not okay. You know it's not. You just wanted me to tell you it's not okay. And here go ways for you to tell everybody that's involved that it's not okay. Talk to your homeboy. Let him know this ain't cool. This not how I'm riding, because if I ride with you, that means I'm being fake and false to my family. So how you gonna look at me the same if I can't even be real to the ones that's got the same blood in their veins and that ain't done me dirty, that's been loyal to me as well? Where's my loyalty gonna go? You know what I'm saying? Like, exactly, like he got a pass or something. You're right, Professor BB. Like he get a pass. Why you give him a pass? And you let your sister get dogged out. That's not cool, homie. That's not cool. I'm going to let you know straight up. What's going on, Miss O'Hara? I'm going to let you know straight up. That's not cool. So how you going to rectify this? One way is talk to your friend. Make sure he knows that this conversation needs to be had ASAP. Because deep in your spirit, it ain't sitting right with your spirit. It's leaving a lump in your chest. You know? That's how you know. Exactly. That's my sister. That's my cousin. That's not cool. Regardless if that's your friend. That's not cool. You know? And let your friend know, like, look, I know I warned her about you. I warned her about you. And I also warned, you should have to have this in your bag to say, I warned you about me in this situation. Because it ain't always about whether you can whoop somebody's ass. That's not what it's about. It's about you having power over how to control this friendship in regards to the relationship with your sister. You know what I mean? In relationship to your sister. Because he can be losing her and you. Does he value you? Does he value your friendship? Apparently not on the surface. But if he knows he effed up, if he knows that ain't cool, if you never warned him that would be a possibility, exactly, that deals with your principles and morals about yourself as a man. That's a great point. Another great point, Professor. The professor on here teaching today. You know, that's what goes as far as your integrity as a man, your principles about yourself as a man. If he know that you ain't standing on business, then this is your opportunity to let him know that he's been misinformed. What up, though, bro? Damon Williams in the building. My brother-in-law always tapping in with me. Dame, tell me what you think. Like, so, say, for instance, you know, I'm married to your sister, but we good. We bros, right? And we out and you see me tonguing somebody down. First thing you going to do is pull me to the side like, hey, bro, that ain't cool. That ish ain't cool. But I understand and I know that about you as my brother, so I wouldn't pull anything like that. But what would you do in this one, Dame? Like if you saw me or, anybody, like same as you saw one of Anna's brothers and you know what I'm saying, and they out there and they got a girlfriend, not a wife. We ain't gonna say a wife. We gonna say a girlfriend. What would you say, Dame, to them? Because it ain't about the bro code. At that point, it's about your sister. It's about the family code. At that point. So if you didn't do nothing to him in that moment, if you didn't say anything to that moment, exactly, it does say a lot about him. Like if you didn't say anything in that moment, then he think he got away with it. He think it's cool with you that he out there sidestepping on your sister. Exactly. You can't even let your homegirls mess around you. And that's the thing. That's the thing. You got to let people know what your boundaries are in regards to, especially if you the man in the middle. Because if your best friend got with your sister, you are forever in the middle of that. Point blank, period. Whether they get married or not. Like Dakari Kofi said, if you get with my sister, I'm hoping it's for marriage. You better be marrying my sister. Or else if that ain't on your plate, then you can't date her. Again, different brothers operate in different ways. And I love all the pit bulls, Rottweilers, bull mastiffs of brothers out there that's going to protect their sister first and foremost. They are unprotected out here in a lot of cases. Social media and reality TV got people believing that it's okay to not be okay. Or to say, even just your real friend, and I saw you cheating on your wife, I'm going off on site. Exactly. And that's as my friend. If she see me doing something out of pocket, but she like a sister to me, but you know what I'm saying? But we ain't got the same blood, but it's about loyalty, right? We family, right? She said it right there. Even as just your friend, if I see you out there messing around, I'm going in on site, and she gonna go in on me and tell me like, look, bro, that ain't cool. So either you cut it out, you let her know what's happening, or I am. And I believe that wholeheartedly. So if your homeboy didn't believe that that's how it would be around you, then he knew you as not having that integrity as a brother from the jump. So this is your chance to gain it. What do you say, McFadden Amber? He knows it's not cool. He's waiting for you to say something. And that's probably true too. He probably do know it ain't cool. He knows it ain't right and waiting on you to say something. Waiting on you to say something like, damn, I know he about to say something to me. Every time I see him, I know he about to go in on me. And you got to be that. You right, McFadden Amber. You got to let him know. Like, look, bruh, this your chance to step up to the plate. See, get up, get out and say something. Not do something. Get up, get out and say something. What's up, Shy Kyler? What's happening with you, baby? What'd you say? I'm telling my sister before I leave the place on FaceTime, and I'm sitting at the table with them as they order a drink. See, that's the thing. That Ikari says she would have handled it that way. She would have told her sister and FaceTimed her right there when she saw the infidelity occurring to give her the opportunity like, yo, just to let you know your mans is out here wilding. Yo, you wouldn't even, he wouldn't even made it out the place without the information being told on her behalf. Again, see you in 28 days, baby. I'm coming that Thursday. I was going to come on Wednesday, but I'm going to come on that Thursday because I nobody told me they was playing in the golf tournament. So I'll be there homecoming Thursday, but I will see you in 28 days, dog. You know what I'm saying? So, and that's the thing, yo. That's the thing. When you got loyalty out there in different places, you got to make sure the first thing that you check is your personal integrity. And that's all we saying to caught between the bro code and blood. That's all we saying. Check your personal integrity first, because that's all you got to stand on. That's all you got to stand on is your personal integrity first. You know what I mean? So if you can't be who you are when nobody's watching you, who are you in the first place? If you can't be true to yourself when nobody's paying attention to you, then who are you? That's why I got a tattoo on my back that says, trust no one but God. Because there are times when I've done myself dirty. So if I'll do myself dirty, then anybody else is capable of doing it. But when it comes to your integrity, if you can't even integral to yourself, where you gonna be? Where you gonna be in these streets? About right there, Professor. Maybe God is watching even when nobody else is. So that's your ultimate judge of your integrity. So if you can't even have integrity with yourself, then what do you expect the people in the world to think of you? Like McFadden Amber said, he know that you know. He waiting on you to say something. He know he messed up. He's waiting on you to say something. So like I said, my first step would be to have a direct, private conversation, not around other people. Because, you know, when people feel like they being hold or they feel like they integrity, they being tested, they get a little $150. They get a little tough on you, right? So if you have that one-on-one conversation with him, then if it do get out of pocket, if somebody get their ass whooped, won't nobody be there to see that? So again, one-on-one is always best in situations like this. You know? Because like I said, there is no version of this where your sister don't get hurt. Because the violation has already occurred. Your sister has already been violated. So there's no way that she leaves this not with any pain. But again, I also said that they may have already had an understanding that you may not be privy to. So having this conversation with him will get you privy to that, right? They'll be like, oh man, your sister already know. Me and your sister already got an understanding. Go, if you feel like it, ask her, you know what I mean? Or I'll call her right now, let her know that, you know, she knew I was out on that date, or she know about old girl. Or again, by having that conversation with him first, you can eliminate anything where it feels like you attacking your sister. Because I said in the first thing, you want to be gentle with her if you have to be the one to tell her. What's going on, Ann Dot Anderson? You have to be. You know, it keeps your, if not, it just delays the inevitable and it keeps your sister in the dark. Staying silent is the only way that's going to end. It's going to keep your sister in the dark and it's going to postpone the inevitable, which is either they going to keep their agreement going on or somebody going to keep getting cheated on and somebody's heart's going to be broken in the end regardless. So for anybody else that's listening, who ever been in a situation like this, or, you know, you got anything where it's bro code versus family, you know, if you ever been in one of them binds, you know, let us know on the after show. Let us know, you know, tap in. Let us know what you think about that. You know, this is just the blueprint of situations that are occurring around other people at times. You know, loyalty is about loving people enough to be honest, even when it's uncomfortable. That's when you loyal to somebody, you honest with them, even when it doesn't feel good to them. Again, you don't always have to be a basher when you're being honest, brutally honest. Just be honest. You can be gently honest with people. You don't have to just give it to them all, dump it on them. Everybody can't handle that. Even though that's the way you may want it to be sometimes, some of us may want it to be sometimes, we still can't handle that. Not all the way. But I prefer honesty, whether it be brutal or gentle. But some people can't handle the brutal honesty. Okay? So that's about all we got for today, y'all. Again, as always, I appreciate everybody that tuned in on TikTok, everybody that tuned in on Facebook and on YouTube, and all my Instagram followers and listeners and viewers as well. So appreciate those who tapped in: McFadden Amber, Dakari Kofi, E. Carice, Ray Butler, Shy Kyler, all y'all. Appreciate all y'all for Professor BB, everybody who tuned in and tapped in and said, what's up? I appreciate y'all. And I'll see y'all next Wednesday, Lord willing. Until the next time I breathe in y'all direction, take care of yourselves and take care of each other. I'm 360 the Poet. I'm going to holler at y'all in a minute.
Keep your radio dial right here. You're locked into the hottest news station on the planet. Hot 702.5 in FM sound. Blazing today's hip hop, R&B, and pop music. Keeping your radio on fire. Bringing you the hottest, realest, riskiest talk shows live 24/7 on hot702.5fm.com.